Hey everybody, welcome to this week's Paddle Monster newsletter. Last week I introduced the idea that you can actually work on your technique through the off season, through the winter when you're frozen off the water by doing drills on land. And this week what I'd like to do is talk a little bit about how you can use drills on land to help with the front of your stroke, with your catch. So the first thing that you want to do, I think, when you want to address your catch is you need to acquire some video of yourself when you're paddling. And hopefully if you can't paddle right now because you're frozen off the water, you're going to have to wait till the spring. But hopefully you've got some video of yourself paddling from last season that you can use. And what you're looking for are a couple of things. The two biggest errors that people make at the catch are, one, taking too long to get the blade buried. So the blade touches the water, and then it touches the surface of the water, and then it travels too great a distance back towards the paddler as the blade's getting buried. When in reality, what it should be doing is touching the water and getting buried really quickly, and then starting to pull back. And so what happens when you take too long to get the blade buried is you lose effective stroke length. You lose positive blade angle so that you aren't doing as much with the most effective blade angle, which is positive through to the point where it's most effective when the blade is vertical. And you also don't get as much weight on the blade at the catch. And the other big mistake that people make is that they're not forward enough with their body weight when they catch the water. A big common mistake that people make is that as they lean forward with their upper body to reach, they stick their butt out behind them to counterbalance the weight that's going forward so that their weight stays evenly distributed over their feet. And they can basically, if you try to stand in that position on the ground with your upper body leaned forward and your butt out behind you, you can stand that way comfortably forever. When you're paddling, you want to get a little bit of your weight forward. So that you're slightly unbalanced forward. And what happens when your blade goes in the water, it supports your body weight. It takes your body weight. You get body weight onto the blade. And that ends up providing you with some stability so you don't feel unbalanced. It's true that the rougher the water, the more likely you are to stick your bum up behind you to counterbalance a bit. And that's normal. Everyone experiences that. But in flat water, you really should be forward. And if you look at video of all the top paddlers, and this is the next thing I suggest that you do, is that you become a student of paddling by collecting video of the top paddlers that you see. And they all post on social media, and you can screen capture their video, and then you can look at it in greater detail. You can, you can fast forward it, you can rewind it, you can advance it in slow-mo, you can advance it frame by frame. You can really learn what they're doing. And take these videos of the pros that you accumulate and put them into the catch position just before their blade is about to enter the water. And look at their body position. You'll see that they are forward. They're kind of leaning forward right from their feet. If you look at the position of their hips in relation to their heels, you're going to see that they're sort of level, or their hips are maybe slightly forward of their heels. And then take a look at what, as the blade enters the water, how quickly it gets buried and how actually little distance it travels back towards the paddler in order to get buried. Then take a look at yourself and see how you stack up compared to the videos that you're seeing of the pros. And if you're seeing things like your blade distance traveling much greater distance back towards you as it's getting buried, you've got an issue that you want to address. If you see that your bum is sticking way out behind you as you're reaching forward, then you've got an issue that you want to try to address. So the next thing that you can do is you can take your paddle and stand in front of a full-length mirror and try to put your body into the position that you see the pros in at the catch, right? So that's going to be ankle flexion, leaning forward right from your feet, hips forward, kind of level, so that your butt is kind of level with your heels or even a little bit in front of your heels. Good rotation, comfortable rotation with your upper body. And then you want to make sure too that as you you sort of drop to the surface of the water, which in a land drill will be your paddle touching the floor, the carpet. Um, you want to make sure that you're actually extending with your paddling side, extending your paddling side hand, extending, which will straighten your elbow, which will pull your paddling side shoulder forward as you drop to the paddle blade to the carpet, which would be the water if you were on your board. And that will ensure that you're reaching to catch rather than pulling to catch. So put yourself into that position in front of the mirror and look to see how that compares with the video, with the positions you see in the videos of the top pros. And it should correspond to what you're seeing in the top pros. Most of the top pros all go through this position. They all look very similar at this point, even though as they paddle in real time with their, continuous fluid motion, they might look quite a bit different. But they all pass through a position that's very similar. And so you want to put yourself in that position too. And I'd suggest that you do this for about 10 minutes, 3 times a week. And be really precise about the position that you're putting yourself in. And don't be afraid to kind of lean on the paddle as you do it. The paddle will support you, obviously, because the blade is in contact with the floor. And your body will be able to feel the position that it's in and learn the position that it's in. And that's going to make it much easier for you to find that position when you get on the water in the spring. So, these drills, as I found out when I was a kid, are extremely powerful, extremely effective in helping you paddle better. And this will be a great drill for all of you to improve your catch if you identify that you're making one of those two critical errors. Or if you have a sound catch already, just consolidate the sound catch that you have. If you have any questions or uncertainty, or you need to see a video of somebody doing these drills, just check Paddle Monster, because I've got a ton of information on drills for the catch, drills for the pull, drills for the exit that we'll look at in the next couple of weeks. And I also make a really good, compelling case for why these are effective, because I've got a lot of still photos of the top pros in the positions that you would be in these drills. And so I think these articles are really useful. The videos that accompany them are really useful. And you can access them at paddlemonster.com. So check that out. And then, of course, if you need help beyond that, you can always consider booking a technical consult with me. I'd be happy to help you. But the great thing about paddling is we can always start by trying to help ourselves. And I think there's a lot that we can do in this regard. So give it a try. Have a great week. Happy training. And I'll talk to you next week.